This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by heavyweight talent Jeremiah Milton here in Las Vegas. Jeremiah, always a pleasure. First time back we've done an interview in person. So how are you?
Yo, I'm solid, man. Just got done finishing my training. Coach said we put in about 23 rounds. So, we're still locked in for the next one, August 26th.
23 rounds. It certainly seemed like a brutal session there. You've just been put through. You only fought on the weekend, and now you're back in camp.
Man, you know what? Like, that's the thing. It's a lifestyle, right? You know, it don't stop, and this is like an example of why it shouldn't stop, because we're going into another fight.
I know you're obviously at a very early stage of your career, but I'm always interested to kind of get a fighter's thoughts of burnout. Is there any concerns on that front? As I know you're still coming through, you're only 10-0 now, looking to go to 11, but constantly going through that process of being in camp, going for a fight, being in camp, going for a fight. Are you ever worried that maybe your body at some point might tell you I need a little break here?
No, I mean, you got to listen to your body, right? You know what I'm saying? And right now my stuff is telling me go. I feel like even with my last fight, I was just getting like properly tuned up and right there, maybe I wasn't even like, I was ready to fight. I'm always ready to fight, but now I'm going through that next phase, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just bringing more. But yeah, I listen to my body, man. You always got to listen to your body because it'll speak to you and tell you when to ease up and when to do this, do that. But right now, motivation's at a high, the body's firing, so let's get it.
Jeremiah, just walk me back through your most recent performance this past weekend on the Kambosos Hughes card. How would you assess your time in the ring?
Yeah, I think I was a bit patient, looking for my shots, maybe thinking a bit too much about, what I was trying to set up and whatever. But, got the TKO, was getting ready to go through the gears, open up on him in an 8-round fight. I think a lot of people are like, caught up on all this flashy amateur boxing that's been brought to pros lately. Like a lot of the top amateurs, Jared Anderson, still doing all the amateur stuff in the pros, like with the pace. But you'll see how my style, goes and develops, down the road. Do
you feel like without having that pressure of all the talk of the amateur background, the amateur pedigrees, as you've just mentioned someone there like Jared Anderson, does that alleviate pressure from you not having everybody talk about you the way that people do with him?
I don't think it's pressure either way. I just think, it's just more annoying than anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like, this is the pros, man. It's a different ball game, dudes is getting hurt, dudes is getting wobbled. So I wouldn't say I ever feel like pressure or anything like that. I just get a little bit annoyed, that people are not understanding boxing.
Do you get annoyed as in you don't feel like you get recognized enough?
Oh, I mean, you know what? The commentators and people like that, they're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to say what they're going to say. I'm not necessarily pushing, like, somebody be like, oh, yeah, hey, pat me on my back. So, yeah, I don't really care as far as much as about the recognition. I think it would just be like the blatant, like, disrespect and stuff like that. That's more my problem, but, that's here nor there.
Obviously, with the heavyweight division, your division, there's always talk about who's going to be the next star coming through. You've just mentioned Jared. He's one who's always getting thrown into the mix in the UK. We have up until obviously some tough, difficult fights. Daniel Dubois was mentioned in there. Moses Atama, amateur records, impeccable. Another one who's been mentioned from the UK front. Where do you think you rank in and amongst maybe that next generation of heavyweight talents?
Definitely elite. Elite. IQ is right there. My abilities, what I do in the ring. If you really just watch my fights, then you'll understand and you'll see how, I'm not getting hit. I'm not, taking the punishment on the level I fought at so far. As we step up, I do it all the time in the gym. So just translating it to the fights, it's there.
Your next outing's obviously already been confirmed as well. August 26th, just walk me through your opponent, Craig Lewis, what you're expecting, what you're hoping to show in that fight.
I'm hoping, he comes to fight. I'm hoping that he's a bit durable and, you'll see me get to fight a taller opponent eventually, finally. I'll break him down. I'll do what I need to do. And you'll see me just, step up even from my last performance. Like, we're only getting better from here.
Only getting better from here, and provided that fight does go to plan and you get your hand raised, where next? What do you want to do as the year progresses?
I guess I'll just have to leave it up to my management. I don't want to be too idle, though, because I don't have a huge back end. I get my finances from fighting. So I got to stay in the ring, I got to stay fighting. I'm hungry for it, so, they better provide it.
mean, just as I keep going back to Jared Anderson, just because people have been critical of his most recent performance against Charles Martin, linking it to yourself, how far off do you think maybe a fight could be between the pair of you? Obviously, you're boxing now under the top-ranked banner yourself.
Yeah, you know what? And like I say, man, I don't think that Jared's performance was necessarily bad. I think, you know, he obviously won mostly every round besides the few that he was hurt in. I think, you know, it just showed you that, you know what I'm saying, hype is just hype, though. You know what I'm saying? Not every man's going to fold. I said that time last year. I said, you know, you just got to fight the motherfucker back. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, not everybody's going to go in there and just bend to your will. He's been having his way when it comes down to, like, the opposition just caving early. And, you know, he's doing what he's supposed to do, you know, which is bring the amateur stuff and just put volume on him. But, you know, we'll cross that road, man. Like I said, I'm on his undercard in my hometown, and that doesn't bother me at all. But it's definitely something to take note of. Yeah, you know, I'll be there soon.
Is that something which is on your mind? Not necessarily kind of how quickly you get there, but you want to face these other guys who are getting those mentions for reaching world level so that you can prove yourself in and amongst it, and also that you can then kind of cement yourself within that heavyweight mix.
Absolutely, you know what I'm saying? Just count me in, man, because I'm gonna get the call, I'm gonna get one of these boys, and I'm gonna take them off, you know?
Obviously, you might not have that pedigree which everyone speaks about, but I know you've done some great rounds with some top heavyweights, most recently sharing the ring with Anthony Joshua. What was that like, that experience training with AJ, who's obviously recently linked up with Derek James?
Oh yeah, you know, AJ, Derek James, the whole team that was down there, watching Earl Spence train, you know, Frank Martin. These are all learning experience. So, like, you know, it might not be ideal to go off to a training camp, you know what I'm saying, in most situations, but they run a pretty tight program. And, you know, you're not necessarily all on your own out there. So there was a lot that I could take from it, a lot that I could pick up. And then, you know, doing that, now coming back and applying it to making sure I'm with my coaches, making sure I'm with my trainer, you know what I'm saying, locking in and making it about me now. You know what I'm saying? I take the information, then I just put it all back into myself.
What can you tell us specifically about that sparring with AJ? What did you feel like you learned? And what did you feel that AJ was maybe trying to impose? As we said, he's going into his second fight with Derek James now, so I'm sure he was trying to show things or work on things that they've been doing together.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, they recorded every sparring session, so I mean, you know, you got to constantly make your adjustment because Derek is the type that can pick up on, even if you're doing something, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, Joshua was leading with a hook or something like that. And I'm like, dang, how's he catching me with that? You know what I'm saying? So I had to make my adjustment, show something different. And, you know, I think it made me a lot more creative, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as, like, knowing that these guys, world champion, former world champion, they're stacking the cards against you in that sense. That's a great thing, you know what I'm saying, to really challenge your mind to, you know, try different things in the ring and, you know, just play with it, you know.
Recently, people started to question Anthony Joshua and whether or not he's maybe a little gun shy or if he's a bit more concerned at what's being thrown back at him. When you were sparring him, did you ever get that impression?
I don't feel that. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, he has become more of a student, you know. So if you're a student, you know what I'm saying, like, sometimes you could be a little too studious, I guess would be the word. I don't know if that word is the word. But yeah, you know what I'm saying, like, I think, for one, you know what I'm saying, he's just putting together all these new tools. And anytime you're learning something new, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm coming off performances where I'm switching coaches left and right. It's not cool, man. And, you know, Lennox Lewis, until he settled in with Emmanuel, you know what I'm saying, you didn't have the Lennox that we have today that we know him for. So, I mean, like, you know, a few performances that don't equate to everybody's opinions of you don't mean jack, you know what I'm saying? Just keep working on what you're working on, keep learning that new stuff, and then it becomes second nature. Like you say, second fight with Derek James coming up, you know what I'm saying? I think you'll see something a lot new, and a lot more honed in, you know?
What do you think we see in that Dillian Whyte rematch?
Uppercuts, plenty of uppercuts. I say, hey, if I'm fighting Dillian Whyte, I'm coming out all uppercut. No, I'm just playing. No, but I think that fight might be the one to spark AJ, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, that's a real rivalry. They have that huge beef over there, man. It's not play beef, you know? So maybe that turns him back into the animal that everybody wants to see, you know, sticking his tongue out, being wild, because, you know, that Joshua right there was a bit, how you say, he was stirred by like people's, by people trying to, you know, bash him and stuff like that. Now he's a bit more cerebral about everything. But yeah, he don't like Dillian.
Is that something which he spoke about in camp? Because when they had their press conference, there was a lot more kind of respect on show. There wasn't as much of a back and forth and as many digs at each other. When he was in camp, was he saying to you or saying in the gym like, listen, I really dislike Dillian Whyte?
He didn't have to tell me. I feel the vibe.
You had to feel it in gym camp.
He didn't have to tell me nothing. I could feel the vibe. You know, even if something didn't go his way in the round, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's locked in, bro. He don't like this motherfucker. hey. And I mean, that's why it's such a huge fight, man. I'm hella interested in it. Dillian, you know, his mentality, he don't care either. He don't give a mad ass fuck. Excuse my language. But it's just great, man. It's great for Britain. You know, it's great for the division. You know, and one thing about Whyte is he hasn't shown a wrinkle in being dropped. You know, he's been put out, but he still comes back. You know, same animal. He's gonna try to hit you after the bell. He's just a wild man. You know, so that'll be great.
A couple of the fights in the heavyweight division, I'm interested to get your thoughts in. We had Fury-Ngannou announced. I say the boxing fraternity weren't necessarily best pleased by that because we wanted to see Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk, but we get Fury-Ngannou. What's your thoughts?
Ngannou, round one, overhand. No. Hey, wouldn't that just shake shit up, right? Let's just say Ngannou catches Fury in the wildest way possible. Give him all the belts, and then, you know, we'll just shut down boxing for a year, you know, because this fight shouldn't even happen, you know. Too bad for Joe-Joyce, who should have been fighting Usyk. Now you have Daniel Dubois, who, you know, is a great fighter, but has worked his way back into that position to fight Usyk. He could clip Usyk. Who knows? Who freaking knows? Heavyweight division. Don't play with these punches, man. He could clip him. And then, yo, we got Daniel Dubois and Ngannou for undisputed. And I was just playing because the belts aren't even on the line. It's just such a shit fight. But, you know, it's a spectacle, and I think people will love it. I'm going to watch it. Who's not going to watch it? You know what I'm saying? We complain about it, but, like, you know, it's a freak show. People like freak shows.
Joe-Joyce and Zhang-Joyce, the rematch. Does Joe-Joyce have it in him to make things right from what happened in that first fight?
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? When he prepared for Daniel Dubois, there was so much seriousness in that fight. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a lot of fun and games. You know, there might have been some banter online a little bit, but, like, you know, there was a bit of an overlooking of Zhang. And anybody who watched Zhang should have known, like, yeah, this dude is not playing when he's punching. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, he's very dangerous for about 6. So, you know, it is what it is. It happened. But, you know, I think you see, like, the reinvigorated juggernaut just go.
Jeremiah, just a final one from yourself. Obviously, this weekend we have a massive fight here in Vegas. Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. It's split opinion. It's divided everybody's thoughts as to who's going to come out on top. Has it divided your opinion? Who is going to win? Who will be crowned the undisputed king of a 147 division?
I mean, you know, I just spent all my time out there with Spence and them. I'm from Oklahoma. He's from Texas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to go with Spence. But at the same time, like, these are both two great men. You know what I'm saying? It's great for boxing. You know, guys, just sit back, enjoy the fight. You know, it's way too close, you know what I'm saying, to be like whichever side. So it's all opinion when they say, hey, I just want my guy Spence to win because, you know, I talked to his dad. I was out there, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I come to know him over a little bit of time. So, yeah, but no matter what, you know what I'm saying, boxing has won this year in every other division besides the heavyweight division. But this is nice. It's a nice thing.
Is there anything you can tell us that you saw in Errol whilst he's training out there, which you think he'll bring into the Terence fight, which maybe nobody will be expecting, or something which could surprise people?
Nah, I think you know what you're getting with both of these guys. You're getting phenomenal talent. You're getting work ethic. You're getting, you know what I'm saying, straight killer mentality. You know, you push me, I push you back harder. They both do that. So now we just got to see who's going to be able to hold that for 12.
All right, Jeremiah, it's a pleasure to catch up with you in person. I'm sure it will not be the last time either. Thanks for speaking to me. Obviously, good luck in August.
Absolutely. Thank you.